How's it going, everybody out there? Welcome back over to the channel. Brother D here. I know it's been a while since I've made a video, but if you've been watching the news, you know that there are some very, very serious events taking place right now, and I want to talk about it because it definitely can be of some significance to each and every one of us here in the United States of America. So let's get this video started. I'm gonna go ahead and start driving to work as I chat. So unless you have been sleeping under a rock or maybe just too distracted from the world and doing the things in which the enemy always throws at us every single day, Israel's at war. Now some of you out there may be like, okay, well, what does that have to do with me? I'm an American citizen. Like, I mean, they've been fighting over there forever. Well, yeah. I mean, there's always been enmity between Israel and different various parts of the world because that land over there is a land that a lot of individuals want, and we know that the children of Israel are the children of God. And anytime you start messing around with Israel, bad things start happening elsewhere. The Bible tells us that, whosoever shall bless Israel shall be blessed, and whosoever shall curse Israel shall be cursed. Now, again, some of you are not paying this any attention, and you're going on about your day, you're making your money, you're doing what it is you do, and you don't care. Let me tell you why you should care. So listen, for as long as we could remember, especially ever since Israel became a nation that was acknowledged, USA has always had Israel's back. It's always been there for Israel. It's always supported Israel. USA has always been an ally of Israel. Okay? And this attack that occurred was from Hamas, but we've learned really over the last 24 hours, if you've been following, that they had the full support of Iran. So we know that USA and Iran definitely do not get along. I think this is going to be a test for USA to really, really see what it's made of, to really, really see if we really truly have Israel's back. This war that's going on right now is a war that, at least in my time, has never happened, and probably a lot of you that are watching this video, because according to sources, it's been well over 50 plus years since they've had some sort of major dispute like this. And if you don't know how serious this is, folks, we're talking like, gosh, thousands of people at this point who have died on both sides, meaning in Israel and Palestine. A lot of people are dead right now, and the death toll is still rising as we speak. This is nothing to play with. This is nothing to not pay attention to, because if we don't pay attention to this, we'll miss everything else. A lot of the world is focused on the holidays, Halloween, especially here in the USA. It's always the ridiculous man-made days that people are just continuously going crazy over, and they don't pay any attention to anything else that goes in the world. Like, we're oblivious to the rest of the world, and that's bizarre to me. It really is. Now, when 2020 happened, no one saw that coming. No one expected it, and the world wasn't ready. Now, I don't know the future. I don't know what's going to occur in 2024, but I do know, my heart tells me that there's definitely going to be some sort of issue, serious major issue that takes place in 2024. You got to watch those election years. Those election years are the ones that you need to really pay attention to because something always occurs. And much like when the pandemic first began, or when the talks of it happening in China first, no one really took it serious. No one really cared because they were like, well, that's in China, that's not here. And then we saw what happened. I don't think that this is something we should brush off when it comes to Israel's war. Don't say it's not, it has nothing to do with us. It happens over there. It has everything to do with us. Again, just like I said a few minutes ago, God says, whoever blesses Israel shall be blessed, and whoever curses them shall be cursed. If America doesn't step in and get our boots on those grounds and get over there and lend aid, you thought you saw an ungodly country today? You thought you saw sin running rampant today? You haven't seen anything yet. Nothing. Nothing. I just read a story this morning, and I'll probably make a separate video on this, about how there's an exit from religion, and that 3 out of 10 Americans identify as agnostic or atheists. I can't really say I'm surprised. I mean, there's a lot of reasons for that. But just because people are doing that doesn't mean that sin isn't still running rampant. It's still running rampant. It's still going out of hand. The United States of America cannot afford for God to take his hand off of them. USA cannot afford for God to turn his back on him. We can't afford that here. Because even though I believe that God definitely is still working in this nation, there's a lot of terrible, terrible things going on. And if America doesn't step in to help out Israel, it's going to be bad. It's going to be really, really bad for this nation. It's like having a friend, right? Who says they're your friend, who's there for you by word and verbiage, but when stuff hits the fan, they're nowhere to be found. They're like gone, ghost, out of here. Don't know where they at. This is that time. This is that time, folks. This is that moment right now that we cannot just stand here and do nothing as a nation. I want you all to pay attention to what's going on over there right now. Don't just get on social media posting your selfies and your feelings and venting and things. I want you to really pay attention to what's going on in Israel. Because it could definitely be the beginning of something that's going to affect the entire world. Now, some of you might be like, Brother D, you're talking crazy. You don't usually talk about these things. Where did this video come from? Look, this is saying nothing to be taken lightly. I know I don't really touch a lot on Bible prophecy and end time stuff over here. I know I hardly make videos anymore these days, but this was definitely something I needed to talk about because it immediately got. This is so serious. It got one of my kids' attention, and he's 9, and it got his attention. Now, if it got the attention of a 9-year-old, come on, folks. What are we really doing? What are we really paying attention to? What are we really focused on if we're not focused on the world right now? As far as what's going on and how it affects you and me, your kids and my kids. forget to pray about this situation too. Pray for the safety of God's people, God's children over in Israel. Pray for the innocent blood that it ceases, that this war ceases. Pray for discernment. Pray for understanding. Pray for these things so that you can have eyes to see and ears to hear. When I originally heard about this war, I immediately started thinking about the book of Thessalonians. I can't remember if it was the first or second, forgive me. I can't remember verses to the T. Not perfect, but I know what the Bible says. And there's a part in there that says that when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction will come upon them like the travail of a woman giving birth. And I'm wondering, is this it? Is this coming to pass? Because there's no peace right now in Israel. There's no peace over in the Middle East. None of that stuff right now. And I'm just wondering, like, is this it? Is something going to occur? Is someone going to come out of nowhere and create some sort of peace treaty? Is somebody going to come out of nowhere and say, listen, stop, I got the solution? And we all know that if that does occur, who that somebody is. Maybe your church don't talk about this type of stuff. You know, my church, they don't really touch on this. You know, it's no shade to any of these churches, but that's why, like, as Christians, we got to be in our Bibles anyway. We need to be studying the scriptures anyway, reading anyway, knowing these things. That if an individual comes out of nowhere and says that they're declaring peace and safety, then that's the Antichrist. Now, I know a lot of you probably thought that you were going to be out of here by the time he shows up, but I don't know. We're seeing a lot of stuff that a lot of you probably didn't think that we were going to see at this point in history. I don't know. Keep your eyes open, saints. Keep your eyes peeled. Keep praying for discernment. Keep praying for understanding. Don't be distracted. That's the last thing I'm going to say in this video. Don't be distracted. Don't let your mind wander. I know that happens to me quite a bit. I get to thinking about my life. I get to thinking about the things I got to do, the places I got to go, people I got to see. I think about all of that stuff all the time. While it's really not as important as the things that are occurring right before us right now. God bless you all. Pay attention. Something's coming. Peace.